Good morning. Hi, Stampers. It's Brenda Hillard here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and it's time for Coffee and Create with Brenda. Again, I'm a little bit late due to my internet speed, but you know what? The projects always come, so patience is a virtue, right? That's what they say. So you'll see the August host code up here this month. When you order with me and your order is $75 or more in product, you can um, pick a free item from the Sale-a-Bration brochure because guess what? It's Sale-a-Bration again. And this goes through the end of September, September 30th. But for shopping with me, and because I love to have you shop with me, and I like to reward you for shopping with me, I am giving away and all of a sudden I have just forgotten the name of it. Let me look. You'll find it in my newsletter and on my blog. But it's an adorable set. Oh boy, I can't remember the name. Bear with me. It is called the Garden Bird Houses. So with a $75 purchase or more, you will receive the Garden Bird Houses stamp set. And it's adorable. It looks like this. It's on page 107 in the annual catalog. So let's back up by saying, too, if your order is over $150, do not use my host code. You will receive your own stamping rewards, and you will still receive the free stamp set for shopping at Create with Brenda. All right, so I told you it's Sale-a-Bration. This is the Sale-a-Bration brochure, and my card today is going to feature this adorable counting sheep with the coordinating dies. So let's get started here. What you're going to need is, and I used a piece of thick cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have to adjust here just a little bit. Sorry. Okay. And I think there, that's better. So here's the card I'm going to be demonstrating today. Here's the piece of thick cardstock. You're also going to need a piece that measures 2 1/4 by 5 inches and a piece that measures 1 inch by 6 1/2. You're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 2 inches by 1 7/8. And you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 2 1/2 by 4 inches. Okay, let's start our assembly. So for this piece, we are going to want to bring in our scoring or our trimmer because we're going to use the scoring tool on here. And we are going to score this piece at 2 3/4. Let me move up so you can see. 2 3/4 inch. So I'll line that up and then we'll score. So it's going to look like this. 2 rectangles there, okay? And we don't have to use our bone folder this time because we want it to be just kind of a gentle fold. Then I'm going to bring in the piece that measures 2 1/4 by 5. And I'm going to score this at a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to score this at a 1/2 inch. And then, let's see, this piece measured 5. So then I'm going to score the whole piece at 2 1/2. Okay. So now we're going to have something that looks like, and then if we fold these tabs back, we're going to have something that looks like this. Okay. So there's that. Then we're going to bring in our 1 inch by 6.5 inch strip. And I'm just going to line this up at the 1/2 inch mark over here on this side so that I can hold this side in place. And I'm going to score. And then I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to do the same thing and score at 1/2 inch there. So then we're going to have this band that has these little tabs. This. Okay. All right. That's it for our scoring. Then I have already stamped and cut out the sheep that I want to use. So I have this one that's standing up and I have one that's kind of jumping, I guess. And then I stamped and cut, and I used the thick for these too. I stamped and die cut 3 little party hats. And then and you're wondering, what? Those are the dies. But in this package of dies, there are the cutest little accessory dies. Let me show them to you here. So we have 2 clouds. We have a balloon, a pennant, a party hat, or a sunburst, and then the party hat and a fence. So today, like I said, I cut out the sheep, I cut out the party hats. So now I'm going to cut out the balloon, the sun, and I'm going to use these clouds. So let's bring in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And using some Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to put my butterfly. Where did I come up with that? How about a balloon? I'm going to put my balloon on there. I'm going to put my sunshine on. And then I'll just grab a scrap of big. I'm going to grab a scrap of basic white. And I'm just going to lay my little clouds right on there. I think this stamp set would make the cutest baby cards. And I have a new baby coming, new grandbaby. Next month, I have a little girl. So fingers crossed that all goes well for Joanna and Josh, and it'd be good. Get to do baby snuggles. All right, so there's that. And I'll just move my dies off to the side. Wait till you see how cute the sun and the balloon are. They have little, where did the sun go? Oh, it's in here. They have like the little stitched marks on them. And like, look at the balloon. Isn't it cute? And I have 2 clouds, but I want 3. So I'm just going to quickly cut one more of those. And you guys, I know I've said it before in videos, but if you have this mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, you have to, when you put your plates in, stagger them. Don't have them all lined up even like that. They won't feed through. Stagger your plates. Okay, now I have all of my pieces. And put the dies over here so they don't get misplaced. And we are ready to assemble. So keep in mind, here's our card we're making, and it stands up like this. So it's a 3D card. They're cute. And then I just stamped on the back, and then I'll write my little sentiment on the back. And it fits in a standard size envelope too, with no additional postage. So let's get some colors here. I'm going to use this is the Dark Pool Party. I'm going to use the light Magenta Madness. I have the dark Smoky Slate, and I'll do the dark Daffodil Delight, okay? So let's start out by doing a little bit of coloring here. I'm going to color in the dots on the party hats. I'm going to use, there's a thick paintbrush end and there's a thin bullet end. I'm just going to color in the dots on the party hats. And then I'll use some Pool Party. And you're going to want to choose whatever colors or markers or whatever you have that coordinates with your designer series paper here. I guess I missed a dot on this one. There we go. And then for the sheep, just to give them a little bit more dimension, I'm going to take the thick end of the Smoky Slate, and Stampin' Up! Has already put the lines in there, so I'm just going to do a few little swooshes over the highlights that they have around for the sheep, okay? Maybe a little around their face. And then I'll color in their little hooves. All right, so there's that one. And then let's do the same here. We'll give her a little bit around her face too, and maybe by her. Okay, I like that. So now it's time to stamp and assemble. So let's take our card base, and we're going to use our 2 pieces that measured 2.5 by 4. And I'm just going to add some liquid glue. And you guys, I'm loving the liquid glue, that it just gives you a little chance to reposition versus the stamp and seal or like a tape runner. So we'll do the same thing here on the other side. Just like this. So that's what our card base is going to look like. Then we're going to take this piece that measured 2.25 by 5, and it has those flapped ends. And we're going to take our designer series paper, our 2 pieces that were 2 inches by 1 7/8. I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to that. Wrong way. So we're going to center this in. And the main thing is just to make sure that your designer series paper does not go over that fold, okay? I'm going to put that right on here. Just like that. Now, to adhere this piece onto our card, I am going to use the Stamp and Seal. It's a stronger adhesive and it just helps hold it in place. So when I put this down, I'm just going to raise it up a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch up from the edge of our designer series paper, matching up our score lines, okay? So there it is. So there's that part of our card. That's how it's going to look, okay? Now, before we put this piece on, let's stamp our sentiment. I'm going to bring in the Memento Tuxedo Black, and I want to stamp in there so glad it's your birthday. And I'm just going to try to center that. So there's our sentiment for the front. And then I'm going to fold those little flaps back and again add some Stampin' Seal on those 1/2-inch flaps, okay? Now, when I put this on, I want to line this up right to the bottom. And the reason being is that's that little band that helps the card stand up, okay? See how it curves out and allows the card to stand up? So I'm going to put that right at the bottom. And at the bottom, everything's sticking to me, okay? At the bottom corner there. And then we'll just press that into place. So there's the card. Now it's time to decorate it up. This is the fun part. You get to create your scene with the sheep. So is what I did first is I brought in some full-size dimensionals, and I'm just going to add a couple to this little sheep that's jumping. So right here. And when you put your things in, make sure that they don't go over the score lines, okay, when you're creating your scene. I'm going to take this adorable little sunshine, and I'm going to add that right here. And I'll take one of the party hats. And for this one, I'm going to need a mini. So I'll give that a little pop up. And we'll put that right over here. Then let's take our other sheep with the full-size dimensionals and just kind of on the bottom half of her, put them right there. And before I do that, I'm going to glue on the balloon that she's holding. So I'm just going to put a little run of liquid glue on the stem of the balloon. I guess I can move that up a little bit, but I want it to appear as though she's holding the balloon, just like that. And then I can put her right in here. Good. Now it looks like they're celebrating. And let's give them each let's put a party hat on each of the sheep. There's hers. And this one. And then when I was working on this, I felt like the back was cute, but it felt like it needed a little more. And that's where these clouds came in. So as what I did is I just took a regular size dimensional and I put one on the clouds, and what I'm going to do is just have these puffy clouds in the background. So I'm going to put one here. And let's kind of tuck one down behind like it's a passing cloud. Okay. And straighten that one up a little bit. All right. And then just for balance, we'll put one over here. All right. So, ooh, those are really crooked clouds on this side. Let's straighten those up a little bit. I don't know how you can really have crooked clouds, but you know. So there's our card. How cute, right? With the little sheep. And then on the very back is where I'm going to add that sentiment, because the front has our "so glad it's your birthday." So on the back, we can do "you're amazing," and then write our sentiment. Looks like I have a little adhesive blob there. Okay, so there's today's card for Coffee and Create. They're calling these the curvy pop-up cards. I just think they're cute. And you know how we all love to display our birthday cards that we receive in the mail. So give it a try. I'd love to see it. Until next time, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday for another Coffee and Create with Brenda. Bye for now.